guys, today we're going to be going over spin. It's a fun little trick that you can teach your dog, and it also helps with some hind end awareness for them. Forgive the state of our puppy here. She had some pretty intense mange and a nasty skin infection, so she looks a little bit like a goblin, but she's alright, I promise you. Hey? Okay. Good girl. So with spin, first we're going to start off with luring our dog again. So I'm going to take the treats in my hand, and I'm going to start turning my hand to the side, so I'm twisting her head about 90 degrees. And their body often follows. So again, I'm rewarding the intermediate step at first. Sometimes we push too hard, and it's difficult for our dogs to actually get what we're saying. This way, she's also less likely to get demotivated by me reaching over her. Some dogs don't like when you reach all the way over them like that, and they get a little bit freaked out. So just having her follow the treats in my hand, starting to go around, good. And then I'll keep moving my hand a little bit away. Yes, good girl. While she's eating. So she'll have to kind of push further and further to get the food. Just like with any trick training, your dog might not be food motivated enough at the time. They might have to go in smaller steps. So work with your dog. Every dog tends to have a strong and a weak side for turning. Some dogs it's right side, some dogs it's left side. So make sure that you work both ways, especially if this is for hind end awareness and for balancing strength. So you can see there, yes, that she had a little bit of a harder time with me reaching over her because I didn't reward intermittently. I didn't reward in between for her just starting to turn, and she backed away. That's not uncommon, and we can make it a little bit easier by rewarding at the quarter or halfway point, depending on where your dog is at. We can start phasing those out pretty quickly after your dog gets used to that motion, but it's not bad to reward them a couple of times in the middle at first. So backing up a little bit, and I just keep following her around. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. This is great, especially for dogs who don't seem to know where their bodies begin and end. A lot of dogs don't have great awareness of their back end. So this is good for coordination with your dogs, especially the larger, more lanky breeds. Yes. Just so they can figure out their movement a little bit better and more clearly. Refill on some of my treats. Good girl. You can see my hand goes all the way around and essentially touches her bum, and sometimes that's what you need in order to get the dog to want to take that first step. And that's not bad. Good, yes. You kind of make them into a U shape with their body. With some dogs, you might have to use a higher value treat. With her, I'm just using her kibbles, and that works fine for her. But for some dogs, especially at first, you might have to use something that's a little bit higher value. Good girl. If she starts walking away and gets a little bit confused, I can also pull my hand back towards me and then restart. Good girl. Now, once again, I'm not putting a command to this yet. I don't want to name this, yes, because I want something a lot more fluid before I name it. I also want to name it after I have a lot smaller of a lure. So before I name it, I want my hand signal to essentially just be me swishing my hand around a little bit. I don't want it to be this me bending over her and pushing my hand all the way around her. Yes. This is what she needs at first, and that's totally fine. But over time, I'll just be able to, yes, make a less and less exaggerated motion, and she'll still be able to follow it. Good girl. Oof. Sorry. Good, yes. Now, if you find that your dog got concerned at any point, so at that point, when I was going over her, she got just a little bit nervous and stopped, I would just reset her for 1 second so I don't push her. As your dogs get more comfortable and their confidence grows, you can push them a little bit harder, yes. But where she's at right now, I don't want to push her too hard because it's going to result more in her shutting down versus gaining confidence. So it's a lot about knowing your dog, being aware of how far to push them. With her, she's a little bit more nervous. She was feral before she came to us, so I don't want to apply a ton of extra pressure besides the fact that I'm already doing spin as a trick, which itself is a lot of pressure. I'm leaning over her, I'm reaching over her. A lot of dogs don't like that. So I don't want to apply a ton of extra pressure. So I'll release that pressure, and then when she's more comfortable in a day or two with this trick, I can apply a little bit more. We're all done, baby. You did it. So that's how you can start off with spin. Fun little obedience trick. Or a fun little trick, and it's also good for your dog just as far as their spatial awareness and being aware of where their body is and coordination. So I hope that helps. Have a great day.